Jinbei from Tsugaru excitedly takes his first step into Edo to begin his new job as an insect exterminator. However, he got lost in the town and was depressed that no one helped him. But then Jinbei met a young girl named Haru. Later on, Haru took Jinbei to her family tea shop. As Haru leads him to the Insect Magistrate's office, she learns that it was actually his father, Genjiro, who was summoned for the job. Haru is grateful for the establishment of the Insect Magistrate 10 years ago because it kept people safe from the attacks of giant insects. Her parents were killed by the insects. They heard a scream, to which Jinbei ran in to see what happened, but to his shock, he found a man being eaten by a prison spider. Jinbei tried to attack, but was knocked out, and the spider escaped. Katori Matsunohara from the Insect Magistrate wants Jinbei to leave it to them. Katori thought he summoned Genjiro, so Jinbei further explains. When they were accompanying the province lord's son, they encountered an insect. Jinbei froze in fear, so Genjiro was the one who killed the insect. However, this scary incident caused the lord's son to wet himself. Genjiro took responsibility for this and severed his own leg. He also lost his position and any chance of advancement. Jinbei wants to be a strong samurai he can take pride in and have perform his duties in his stead. Local men appear and tell Jinbei that Haru was attacked and kidnapped by a prison spider. Jinbei rushes in, fights the spider, and tries to save her life. Jinbei puts up a good fight, but he doesn't have an advantage due to being stuck in the web. As he is about to be killed, he is saved by the insect exterminators. Hibachi, the descendant of the ninja clan, and also an expert with gunpowder. Shungaku, known as the Killer of 99. Tenma comes from a noble house, and he uses familiars known as shikigami. They show him what it's like to be professionals in this business and easily kill the other spiders. Suddenly, a spider appears from above and tries to kill Haru. Jinbei jumps in and saves her life and kills the spider, impressing the most of the insect exterminator. But then the queen of the prison spiders came and was about to kill Jinbei. But he was saved by the insect exterminator's strongest member, Mugai, who amazed Jinbei. Afterwards, Jinbei expresses his gratitude and vows to be like him, but Mugai pays no attention. Jinbei joins the insect exterminators by Katori's doing, and unknowingly to him, earned the affection of Haru. All the insect exterminators meet at the headquarters, as Katori explains that the country is being invaded by giant insects. The source and why they are attacking are still being investigated. However, insects rarely appear in cold regions like Tsugaru, and Jinbei never had such encounters. The Insect Magistrate is formed to fight these bugs, and leading them at the top is Mashabuju, whose face nobody has really seen. As another insect attack is reported, the exterminators move out, but Katori orders Jinbei to stay behind since he is the new member. He also orders him not to draw his blade for only a month due to the fact that many new members who joined the insect exterminators before him died from insect attacks. Jinbei was upset and angry due to this rule, but he had to go along with it for now. Hibachi is not happy that she has to team up with Jinbei. Since Jinbei is so eager to know more about Mugai, Hibachi gladly tells her all that she admires about him. She also reveals in her past that she is from a ninja village that uses explosives. As the war ended, their skills became unneeded, and many young people abandoned their expertise. Only Hibachi and her grandfather carried on the tradition. Hibachi vowed to carry on the tradition, but Grandpa told her off because he didn't teach her to pass it down to other generations. That's when she decided to leave and join the Insect Magistrate, since Katori was there to hire her. When they heard a scream coming from the forest, they ran towards the source, where they found 2 people and other people dead by the river. Hibachi knew what was going on and told Jinbei to protect the people, and then a demon dragonfly appeared, and Hibachi will defeat this one on her own. When Hibachi was failing to kill the demon dragonfly, Jinbei came in to help her despite her not wanting his help. But Jinbei managed to convince Hibachi to help her defeat the dragonfly, and they worked together and killed the dragonfly without drawing his sword. Later, when they went to Katori's office, Katori asked them if Jinbei had drawn his sword, but Hibachi said he hadn't, implying that she was growing to like him. Later, Jinbei is seen training to cut a boulder, but he can't. Then Shungaku came back drunk and cut it into many pieces, which amazed Jinbei. Jinbei asked Shungaku if he could train him to cut like that. Later, Shungaku was walking down the street, which Jinbei was following him as a student would do, but then the town folks started badmouthing Shungaku and started hitting him with rocks and threatening to hit him as well. Jinbei refused to move away because he considered Shungaku his teacher, and refused to leave him, which surprised Shungaku. Later, they saw a giant cut at a wall, and people were thinking that Shungaku could have done it, but Shungaku told Jinbei that he wouldn't steal, but he would kill. Later the next night, Jinbei was eating at the Four Seasons when he heard some screaming and rushed to the location, where he found Shungaku next to the slice wall while holding a bloody sword. Shungaku was arrested for not telling anyone what had happened. Jinbei, who believes that Shungaku is innocent due to his saying that he wouldn't steal. Later, Jinbei sneaks into prison just to break him out, and he tries to cut the wooden bar with a saw and tells Shungaku that if he is innocent, it is okay to break the rule, which surprises Shungaku. Shungaku asked Jinbei to give him his saw, and he used it to cut the wooded bar and set himself free, and they ran away. A flashback to Shungaku's past reveals his father was upset that his mother spoiled his son so much that he couldn't kill. As the head of the Black Spiders group, this must be bad for his image. Even Shungaku committed many crimes except murder because it was what Akaku, his kind mother, told him never to do. One night, he saw his father kill Akaku. He was unable to contain his anger and started killing everyone. That's how he earned the nickname Kill of 99. While they were running away, the police found them and were about to kill Shungaku for escaping. But Jinbei tried to defend Shungaku, saying he wouldn't steal, but then one of the policemen was cut by a giant mantis called a bladed mantis. Shungaku tried to kill the bug but was sliced by another police officer due to wanting to avenge his friend from the past. But Jinbei stopped them and told the police that his sin was in the past and now his sword is protecting them. And was further explained that before Shungaku could kill his father, Kotori approached him and revealed the insect hunters were the ones responsible for his mother's death. Jinbei went to help Shungaku kill the bug when another bladed mantis came, and they combined their skills to kill those bladed mantis and save the town. The police ran away and still hated Shungaku. When Jinbei saw what was inside the mantis, it was filled with gold. Jinbei asked him why he didn't say anything to anyone. But to Shungaku's embarrassment, he revealed that he was there because a dog chased him there and that he didn't like dogs. And the first thing he grabbed was a bloody sword. The two were later having some fun at a local place, and their bond grew stronger. In another insect exterminating job, Tenma uses his paper shikagamis that turn into giant papers and box away the insects. He gives the rest of his teammates the cold shoulder. Later that night, while Jinbei continues his training, he hears a scream coming from Tenma's room and rushes there to help him. When Jinbei got there, it turned out that Tenma was screaming at a bug, and he revealed that Tenma has a fear of bugs. Tenma reveals to Jinbei that Tenma wants to fight his fear to make his parents proud. Jinbei was touched by his story and wanted to help him. When Jinbei was training with Tenma to get rid of his fear of bugs, Hibachi and Shungaku came in and gave Tenma a bag of bugs, which scared him. Tenma thought that Jinbei told them and ran away. Jinbei yelled at Hibachi and Shungaku for what they had done and said that samurai shouldn't act that way when someone is trying to make their parents proud. Jinbei went after Tenma to find him, but found Tenma with a kid who was happy that the kid looked up to Tenma, which made Jinbei happy. Oharu came rushing to Jinbei and told him that another giant insect had come to attack the city. The insect exterminator rushed to where the bugs were, and to Tenma's shock, it was a giant centipede called a thousand-legged centipede, which Tenma feared the most. While fighting the bug, Jinbei tried to encourage Tenma to fight the bug, but when Hibachi and Shungaku told Tenma that Jinbei didn't tell them, but overheard what he said, Tenma got enough courage and used his shikagamis to send the centipede flying as the rest sliced it up. Later, thanks to Jinbei's help, Tenma is coming along okay with the small bugs. But when Hibachi shows him an earthworm, he freaks out and punches it away. Later that night, Jinbei was summoned by Kotori, who told him that Mugai had chosen him as his partner on the next mission, which he was happy and excited to hear. The next day, they went to a lord's house to help them with a giant flea problem. They are shown a room filled with blood and insect cocoons, and it seems the insect plans to make this mansion its nest. Hearing a cry from the next room, they see a giant flea trying to suck a man's blood. Although the flea is fast, Jinbei is able to cut it down, but then it turns out there were more than just one. Mugai took control of these fleas, but the male parents appear and they later heard another flea attack happen on the other side of the house, and it was the female. Jinbei wanted to go and help them, but Mugai told Jinbei that he was too weak to face them. Jinbei was surprised but took it as a worry from Mugai and told him he would be okay, which surprised Mugai. When Jinbei ran toward the female flea, he found the young worker, and he was under attack by the female flea, which is much bigger than the rest. Jinbei tried fighting and slicing at the bug, but the female's shell was too strong to cut through. If Jinbei were to take a hit, it would drain him of his blood. When the female flea was about to attack the young worker, Jinbei got in the way and saved the worker, but he was hit by the flea, resulting in his blood being drained. When Mugai ran to the scene, he was shocked to see Jinbei's blood being drained, yet he was still able to move. Jinbei told Mugai that he was upset that he wasn't able to meet Mugai's expectations, but Mugai smiled and told him that he didn't have any expectations for him and killed the female flea, saving Jinbei. The Lord thanked Mugai and Jinbei for their help, and they walked away. Jinbei asked why Mugai picked him if he didn't have any expectations, to which Mugai smiled secretly and told him that he had forgotten the reason, leading Jinbei to be confused. Later that night, Jinbei and Hibachi were arguing as to which had the best quality about Mugai. During their argument, a mysterious masked person sneaked inside the Insect Magistrate's office, but they soon spotted him and took him to Kotori. The person revealed that his name was Nagatomi, and he was sneaking in to find the information that the Insect Magistrate's office was holding. Nagatomi told them that there was nothing more important than knowledge, which annoyed Hibachi, who ended up removing his mask, revealing a handsome man behind the mask. He got angry at Hibachi for removing the mask. Kotori ordered Jinbei to take Nagatomi to his home, which Jinbei agreed to. While taking Nagatomi home, Jinbei asks Nagatomi where his home is and how to get there. But Nagatomi refuses to tell him and tells Jinbei that he thinks Jinbei is stupid and walks away. He sees a man being attacked by a night mosquito. When Nagatomi was under attack, Jinbei came in and tried to save Nagatomi, but the mosquito was too quick to land an attack on it. Jinbei tells Nagatomi that he believes that Nagatomi is smart enough to stop the mosquito, which touched Nagatomi and helped Jinbei. After using some items to make the mosquito weaker, Jinbei landed a finishing move and killed the monster. Jinbei and Nagatomi throw a party with the insect exterminator, and Nagatomi decides to share more of his knowledge with people like Jinbei. Since he is already here, he gets up to sneak into the library when everyone is out. Rummaging through the shelves, a box falls off. He doesn't recognize the crest on it, but the scroll shows a map of Japan, and half of it is marked with a big X. Kotori then walks in, and he recognizes who Nagatomi Maru is. He is Ishiji Tokugawa, the next shogun. He makes a deal. If he keeps a secret about what he saw, he will not leak his identity. Nagatomi Maru wonders if this has to do with spies sent to Kyoto who have not returned. Kotori says nobody, and only a selected few know of this. He hopes he will not return to this place too. He agrees to that, but he will visit Jinbei every day. Hibachi, probably still drunk, thinks Nagatomi Maru is an intruder and beats the hell out of him. She didn't know she beat up the future shogun. Summer is here, and this means the fireworks festival. But it also means the appearance of a super big warrior, King Beetle. At this rate, Ito can be made completely flat by it. But why is Kotori calm? Because when such happens, all insect exterminators are not to engage in the bug except Mugai. They are to assist in evacuating the people. Mugai begins his grand fight with the beetle. The people get to see his superb brawl with the giant bug from afar. It's like watching a picnic show. Meanwhile, Jinbei meets a mysterious woman who laments that she cannot view the fireworks because of the walls. Even with the tremors, mysterious woman assures Jinbei that they are just testing the fireworks. Mugai has cut the beetle's horn and is going to use it against the bug by slicing it in half. Later that night, Jinbei has found a tower where they can watch the fireworks. They caught it in time. The mysterious woman apologizes that because he was trying to help her, he couldn't watch the fireworks with his friends. On the contrary, he is glad to have met her. She gives him a bell as a reward. When the fireworks end, Jinbei is baffled since there is a big hill over the horizon. He didn't even know about Mugai's bug fight. The mysterious woman revealed to be high-ranking Minister of Insect Magistrate was called Mashabuju. Knowing the insects are acting strangely, it is that time again she seals herself away according to custom. Dead in the night, the carriage leaves, and Mitsuki is tailing it. However, Mitsuki loses sight of it and gets punished by insect hunters and a fellow member, Geikatsu. And because she failed, it ruined their chances of knowing where Mashabuju is hiding. Mitsuki seeks to redeem herself and will ask somebody from the Insect Magistrate. While Jinbei was walking, he found a woman crying and saying she was lost. Jinbei offered her help to find a place where she was happy. While walking on a bridge, they saw Mugai walking as well, but Mitsuki put an eel on her to avoid meeting Mugai and toss a ton of eels into a lake, which Jinbei jumped into to get them. Later, Jinbei took Mitsuki walking, but then they met Oharu, and they talked for a bit, but then water landed on Oharu, and Jinbei offered her his clothes to dry. Mitsuki, seeing that Oharu was taking Jinbei away from her, put water on her, but got mad when Jinbei offered his underwear and kicked him in the face. The next day, while Jinbei walked to the Four Seasons, Jinbei found out that Oharu was kidnapped, and Mitsuki revealed to Jinbei that she kidnapped Oharu and told him to meet her outside of the town. Jinbei did as Mitsuki told him, but when he got there, Mitsuki asked him to tell her where the Insect Magistrate was. But Jinbei told Mitsuki that he doesn't know an insect magistrate, which made Mitsuki take Jinbei below the sand where Oharu is being kept. Jinbei rushes towards Oharu to save her, fighting off Insect as Mitsuki keeps summoning, while Oharu frees herself. Once Jinbei got Oharu, he tried to find the way out, but the only exit was the top. Then buildings were falling down, and Jinbei decided to use them as a way to climb out. As they climbed on the building, one of the buildings fell on Oharu, but Jinbei came in at the right time and saved her from this fate, which surprised Mitsuki and upset her. This summons the rest of the bugs here, but it also leads the rest of Jinbei's teammates to the scene, which makes Mitsuki run off. Meanwhile, insect hunters are asking the fishermen to take them to Hachiju Island. But for the fishermen, there's nothing there. Perhaps a little girl is hiding there. The fishermen, who are insect magistrate agents, instantly know what they're up against and draw their swords. It's too bad they all died. Not only the insect exterminators are dispatched, but the samurai and temple departments as well, to help protect the Mashabuju, who is the overall leader of the insect magistrate since the insect hunters are there to kill her, who will protect Ito when a bug attacks. Katori puts it this way: if Mashabuju dies, in no time at all, Ito will be destroyed. But there's a bug showing up right now. Jinbei wants to stay back, but Katori tells him Mashabuju's life comes first. The people will have to put up with this for a while. But Kagetada Ogami, the head of the samurai department, and his team stay back to deal with the bug. Once the ship arrives near Hachiju Island, a sick-looking insect hunters member, Manako, cuts the ship into pieces. He fights on par with Mugai, and Shungaku becomes enraged when he learns he is from the insect hunters. He wants to know if he was the one who killed his mother. Hibachi takes Jinbei and flies away to the island first. Manako reveals that he wants to die and is tired of living in this world. But to do that, Mashabuju must die first. The head of the temple department, Yumehisa Shurasagaki, fires the cannons at him, and Shungaku finishes him off. Meanwhile, Mashabuju senses invaders and lets loose a poisonous fog. However, insect hunters walk forward while taking their antidote. Hibachi and Jinbei go to where the Mashabuju is, but get attacked, and Jinbei falls off and lands inside the house. Jinbei encounters the Mashabuju, but he thinks she is the servant of the Mashabuju. They talk for a while, and suddenly the leader, Mushikari, crash in to kill Mashabuju. But her poisonous and acidic hands protect her. Meanwhile, Hibachi faces off with Mashiro, who can kick up shockwaves with her feet. Mashabuju tries to keep Jinbei away from the fight, but he keeps butting in despite the insect hunters blatantly ignoring his existence and heading straight for their target. Mashabuju feels weird. She knows the insect hunters are here to kill her, but she can't think of anything else but Jinbei. Meanwhile, the rest arrive on the island but are attacked by Kuroga. Shungaku doesn't think he is the one who killed his mother because this wimp can only fire guns. Only a skilled person could have cut his mother like that. He lets Tenma deal with him while he pushes forward. He then sees Mugai facing off with Gekatsu. He overhears that Mugai was once the leader of the insect hunters. He becomes enraged and suspects he is the one who killed his mother. He attacks Mugai. As the fight is going on, Mashabuju is thinking that he is with the insect hunters, and she asks him. Before she gets a response, Jinbei is hit in the face by the leader of the insect hunters. He gets up once more and uses Tsukushima-style Mount Fuji counter. He tells the Mashabuju, unknown to him, that she is the leader of the insect magistrate, to escape and that together they will see the skies of Edo. The Mashabuju ultimately develops feelings for Jinbei, and Jinbei is killed quickly by Purgatory's spear technique. Meanwhile, Mugai drops his sword and lets Koikawa slash him. He realizes he is not his mother's murderer. The Mashabuju is angry with Jinbei's death and transforms into her powerful form to fight the insect hunters. She has the upper hand in most of the fights. The leader signals to Gekatsu and Kaina to fire the evil insect-slaying blade. It penetrates her barrier and enters her heart, and she becomes powerless. As explained, the blade was reforged again and again out of the skeletons of all the insect types. They have been doing it for a long time, and it has taken much blood and pain before it is finished. Mashabuju notices Jinbei still breathing and plays a helpless dumb to take their attention away from him. However, they notice he is still alive, and the leader is going to slice him up before they kill her. Thankfully, Mugai arrives in the nick of time. He fights all of them at once, while Tenma's Shikagamis pull Mashabuju and Jinbei to safety and run. Some of the insect hunters go after them. Shungaku wants to know who killed his mother. Gekatsu admits that he is the one. He was eliminating those in the way, and she got caught up in it. After Shungaku drinks his sake, he uses his three-sword fighting style to break Gekatsu's jointed sword and slice him in half. Hibachi starts to carry Jinbei on her back when Kaina smashes the ground, and it separates everyone. Mashabuju will not escape alone as she tries to carry an unconscious Jinbei. Mashabuju still feels guilty for doubting Jinbei and wants him to live so she can apologize. However, Shogun appears and attacks them. Before Shogun can deal the fatal blow, Jinbei strikes back. He has cat-like ears on top of his head, and his hair has turned white. Shogun is going to do a suicide move just to take out Jinbei, but he is too fast and powerful and cuts up Shogun. The leader could sense Shogun's death and sent Mashiro and Shido to not let his death be in vain. Now, with the brothers alone, the leader wants to know why he betrayed the insect hunters. Mugai was supposed to murder Mashabuju by himself that evening, but he changed sides. Even if Mashabuju was the one responsible for annihilating their village. Meanwhile, Tenma and Hibachi couldn't beat Kuroga. The Shikagamis were the ones getting totally owned. They are saved by Shungaku, but Mashiro and Shido provide some backup. Mad Kuroga wants to finish them by himself, but all his bullets are blocked by Jinbei. Then Jinbei attacks his own comrades, and then insect hunters. He turns into a blood-lusting monster. His long hair isn't for decoration, as it turns into a deadly hand that suffocates them. That hand turns into a giant, thorny mace that shoots out thorns. Mashabuju makes her way back in hopes of stopping him and bringing back the original one, but is unfortunate enough to bump into Shido. Mashabuju was about to be killed, and Jinbei heard her scream, and instantly slices Shido. He turns back to normal and saves the Mashabuju, but just enough for him to do that as he collapses. The leader calls for the insect hunters to retreat. Mashabuju sees a hair in Jinbei's mouth and wonders if this has something to do with his transformation. The insect exterminators are happy they've won and leave the island with Mashabuju. Unknown to them, some bug guys, Yukimura Sanada and Sasuke Sarutabi, are watching them. They want Mashabuju to hold out a little longer because when the king awakens, they will escort her back to their giant cocoon castle. If you want to continue this anime, start with episode 12. Thank you for watching.